5 days until the Iowa caucuses, a big shakeup that could have a major impact on the Republican race. The GOP frontrunner, Donald Trump, saying that he'll skip tomorrow night's Fox News Google debate, partly, he says, because the network refused to remove Megyn Kelly as a moderator. The reaction pouring in from Trump's rivals for the nomination.
I think anyone running for president of the United States owes it to the people of Iowa to have the humility to come in front of you, to make the case, to answer the hard questions, to look you in the eyes.
It really doesn't matter because the debate is about dissemination of information to the people. So it really doesn't matter who's on the stage.
If he doesn't want to be there, that's okay with me. But I'll tell you this, the American people should wonder. You know, if you're not willing to show up when everything isn't going your way, exactly the way you want to, that's not the way the job as governor goes.
If this is the year that a person can win the Iowa caucuses by just raising money and then going in and blasting with TV and radio ads, I think it could be the end of the Iowa caucus as we know it.
All right, so is this move unpresidential? Pete Hegseth.
Boy, it sure feels like it. This is a choice, right? His hand wasn't forced. There was no unbecoming circumstances. He chose to draw a line, and he's now dug his heels in, and will not, if he sticks with it, is not going to have an opportunity to make a final message to the Iowa caucus goers. Now, he's making the calculation that it won't matter, that doubling down on his tough stance is what people love about Donald Trump. The question here is, though, what's the stance that he's taking? And the way he's going about doing it is the way he's always done it. I don't like it. But, hey, a lot of things he's done I haven't liked, and he's surprised me because they've been effective. So,
well, the question now isn't whether we like it or not. The question is, Harris, will the voters of Iowa punish him for this?
It's up to them whether or not it's presidential. I will say this, though. I was a little curious when Ted Cruz, we just ran that soundbite of him. But then a few hours ago, we learned that he's challenging Donald Trump to a no moderator present one-on-one debate before the Iowa caucuses. So why would he do that exactly? Like, who does that benefit? And by the way, I mean, Trump has said he's going to have this, I guess, dueling time period event. So he's arguing that he will get to talk to viewers.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Sandra, on that point, Trump releasing a statement last night saying, instead, I'm going to hold a rally. It's going to benefit veterans. It's going to benefit wounded warriors. Is that a smart move?
Well, it's always a smart move to host an event that benefits veterans. It's the timing of it, I guess, that we're asking about here, Andrea. And it's easiest for us to sit here and say, you know what, this isn't the right thing for him to do. This is unpresidential. He should be answering any question that helps voters decide who is the best person for the job. But guess what? He has been on the media rounds. He is answering all the questions. He is talking to all the reporters. He's going on all the networks. So you can't criticize him for not putting himself out there and letting people know who he is. So I don't know that that is part of this decision not to perform in the debate.
Yeah, Rachel, I think it's a good point. I mean, Trump can take the cameras wherever he goes. Mm-hmm. So this isn't his last opportunity to get his message out because he's everywhere.
Absolutely. And I think this really is about the fact that in this respect, he's very self-aware that he's not that good at debates. It's not his high point. And he knows that Ted Cruz is sharpening his knives against him. And this is, I think he's using Megyn Kelly as an excuse to really, you know, remove himself. It's a risk, though, because, as we know, a third of the voters have not made up their mind. And more importantly, he's gone after Megyn Kelly in a very personal way that I think could hurt him with women who he's already
All right, so on that point, I mean, you mentioned his debate performance. I don't think that's an issue. I think Donald Trump does pretty well at the debates. The question is, Pete Hegseth, Rachel's point about Twitter and the things that he's saying, could it affect him with women? Take a look at this tweet. This is just breaking. This is from Donald Trump this morning. I refuse to call Megyn a bimbo. Instead, I will only call her a lightweight reporter. So, Pete, does this hurt him with women?
It should. It really should. And of course, there's a tape from 2011 that was played this morning on Fox and Friends of him talking about what a great reporter she is and how amazing she is and how wonderful she is. So he's throwing the bombs he needs to throw, or he thinks he needs to throw, that are very unbecoming in my
But does it hurt him?
Who calls a woman a bimbo today? Really? You may take issue with whatever they believe or whatever they say, but it's just childish. It's what he does. I will say this, though. When it comes to the debate stage, it'll be interesting to see whether or not he's a looming presence or whether about 10 or 15 minutes in, it just settles in, and we're not talking about Trump anymore.
So that's my question. Does this open the door for the other candidates now to put their plans forward? About an hour and 6 minutes ago or so, because I just happened to catch it, Dr. Ben Carson put out his plan for destroying ISIS. It's a video, and it's the Heal, I wrote it down, the Heal, Inspire, Revive campaign.
Nobody's talking about
well,
it.
No one.
No one's talking about it.
What if, right, but what if tomorrow night or on forward before Iowa caucuses, people can get their messages out there without him being at the lectern? I mean, I would imagine that would be a challenge, or are they all going to focus on Donald Trump's not being there?
Well, and that's the conversation right now, right? We're all talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He continues to succeed.
That's the genius.
Being
that's
the conversation.
The man is a genius. Everyone else are some level politicians. He is a marketer and a PR
So the
genius.
question is this going to benefit him, or is this going to hurt him when he goes into Iowa, and how will this affect him in New Hampshire? Really, politically, is this a smart move?